Hello everyone, welcome you all on classes of the College Dekho channel. So I hope you all are doing well. So today I am going to start with some introduction chapter or some introduction point of the microeconomics. What do you mean by the microeconomics? Micro means that the internal part. Internal economics is a part of the microeconomics. When we are calculating something internal in terms of a finances, in terms of the organization, that would be always recommended as, or you may call it as, microeconomics or the micro environment. So today we are going to start with one point or the one chapter of the microeconomics, that is the demand. So, moving further with the topic Introduction to Demand, as you read in a title or the thumbnail too. So, first of all, we just take some introduction of the microeconomics. Let's suppose, and guys, anyone having any doubt, you may ask me in a live chat. First point. First point is a microeconomics. Microeconomics is something which we are deriving on the internal part. Whatever the internal operations of an organization is going to be held or to be held, or what was to be held in a past, that all are come under the microeconomics. So, under the terms of a microeconomics, we have to understand the all over the system of the internal. As we all understand this thing, when our internal system is developed, or we can say it's strong, then our external sector is automatically going to be strong and give our best output from the wants which we expect. So, under the term microeconomics, we will definitely understand first or 2 points. That is all about the internal portion. So here, what we have to study in these points, that is the theory of demand. Next is supply. Another one is, when we're talking about the theory of demand and supply, automatically production and cost. And one more thing, that is market, are all under the observation of the microeconomics. The full microeconomics, the detail of the what the expectation of the consumers in the market, what the suppliers, what the supplier expectations from the market, or where the market is actually situated, where the buyer and supplier meet up. Plus, when the person is going to be produce something, what was the production cost is, and if that person knows about its cost, it's automatically add its profit, and the sum of portion is become its sales amount. So whenever the person is going to sell something, he must add profit in his cost. It is a simple theory which we always see in our surroundings. Okay, so coming today's topic, that is the theory of demand, or we can say title is saying introduction to demand. You all get to know it's a very interesting topic, and so many times I heard from the students, ma'am, it's economics, oh my god, it's a very tough subject. No beta, it's not at all tough subject. It's all about your surroundings. Whether in terms when we are studying the economics, we have to be analyze our surrounding, and when we analyze our surroundings, we can easily understand what economics is actually mean. So coming to the today's topic, that is the demand. Demand. What do you mean by the demand? As in our childhood or right now too, we are always be a demanding child. It's always our parents complain that our child is very demanding. Why? Because what you do, what we all do, we always give them our choices. We always tell them ki yes, this is what I want. Mostly in my case, I always call to my papa and I always says to him, papa, I want this, I want that, ye wo, etc, etc, etc. So is that I purchase that item, or I only ask him, or I only told him that I want that? It's a major difference between in our desire and in our purchase. Okay. So when I am telling him that I want this, that is what my desire. Because right now I am not having that thing, but I desire about that thing. Okay. Second term. Second term is when I told him that Papa, I want this thing, and he said to me, okay, go and purchase that. When my demand, when my desire converted by paying some amount to the supplier or who is giving that item, obviously, that thing is not a free of cost. ठीक है? Because we are taking the assumption over here that that item is not a free of cost. So I desired for that item and I went to the supplier and I gave him some amount and he gave me that item. So demand means your desire or your want and or willingness to buy. It is what? A demand. So here is word buy. Who can buy the item? Customer. Is the supplier is a buyer? No. Supplier is a person who sells the item. And buyer is a person who buys the item. So here demand means desire or wants or willingness to buy. So under demand, we always consider it at a viewpoint of the consumer. What the consumer think? Because those who are going to buy something, that person is the only customer or a consumer. As that person need that item, that is the only reason they are going to purchase that item. Okay, and they show their willingness that yes, he is interested in purchasing that particular item. So under the point of view of the consumer or a customer, what was the next step? As we all are a consumer and a customer, we always go in a market to purchase some item. We always desire what we actually want. So here also there is a consumer who is ready to purchase the item. So when the consumer is ready to purchase the item, what is the consumer point of view? To be very frank with you guys, we are as a buyer never ever going to pay more amount for any of the item. What we actually want, we want in our less price to pay and more item to demand, and vice versa. That is, we are ready to pay high, but that time we demand a low item. So generally, one example is here in my mind. My mom told me in the last 2 weeks back, she told me, Shweta, go to the market and purchase 250 grams of tomatoes. I was shocked. Why 250 grams? Why? So she told me that tomato is a very perishable item and its cost is really high right now. So we don't need 1 kg of tomatoes at our home. So go and take and purchase only 250 grams. Okay, I said okay. But as per my knowledge about the tomatoes, when I purchase some tomatoes which are less ripe, so that can easily their time duration easily will be approximately 1 week. So that item should not be very short period of time. So okay, I understand her point because she is a customer right now and she is not ready to give more price for their tomatoes. So I went to the market and mom is a mama. She only give you only 50 or 100 rupees, okay, for that item. She calculated all the amount, what they gave you the list, and she only wants from your side that yes, you only purchase that item only, and whatever the chillers and pennies amounts are left now, so they know very well ki, that you save 2 rupees 5 rupees or little amount petty cashes type of things. So I went to the market. So 100 rupees kg tomatoes was in my mom minds. Okay. So 250 grams will be 25 rupees. So I went to the market. I came to know that price of tomatoes is less right now. The seller is ready to give tomatoes only in a 50 rupees per kg. Okay. So here's the twist. My mom said, for the rupees 100, you are ready to purchase only 20, you are ready to purchase only 250 grams, that is for rupees 25. But when the price is decreases to 50 rupees per kg, obviously I purchased 1 kg of tomato and came back to the home. My mom is very happy. And suddenly she's start counting, okay, let's make some item of the tomato. And half an hour before, what she's thinking, no, price of tomatoes is very high. So we only need 250 grams. But as and when I purchase that particular item, only in 50 rupees of kg, she's ready to, okay, we'll make this item, we'll make that item because price is low. So the buyer's point of view, a very interesting thing. The now topic is law of demand. So the law of demand. What is the law behind the demand? Because law is always made as per the situation and practical examples of the surroundings. So here demand is a desire or willingness to buy. So here law will be created only because of the consumer mind. As a consumer is ready to purchase less when the price is high and purchases more and more and more when the price is low. So there is an inverse inverse relationship between price of the goods and quantity demanded for the goods. And one important line, at a particular period of time. At a particular period of time. What do you mean by the particular period of time? As I gave example that about when I'm going to purchase, my mom thinking is be like 250 grams for 25 rupees. and I was came back to purchase only in rupees 50 1 kg item. So the particular period of time is a change before half an hour and after half an hour. Both the situation are different. So at a particular period of time, at a what time you are ready to purchase that item, what is at its price. That is the only reason you will demand that thing. If the price is low, you will purchase more. If the price is high, you will purchase less. There is the only reason we said there is an inverse relationship between the price of the goods and the quantity demanded for the goods. So, here, if the price is decreases, the person or a consumer demand more. Or if prices increases, if prices increases, demand by the consumer is going to be less. Let's have a proper example of the demand. That is, let's make one schedule. Price of an apple. Let's suppose price of an apple is going to be decreases. 250 rupees kg. After that, it will going to be decreased by 200, 170, 120, and 100. Demand for apple is going to be increases. Obviously, in a case of a rupees 250, will not purchase more. Okay. So here, let's have a proper example. As the prices decreases, your quantity demanded is increases. And when we are ready to make it on a graph, so what we think, how to plot the demand on the graph. Okay, before going to the graphing proper schedule in the terms of a demand and knows what is the demand curve and how it looks like, I'm going to give some announcement. Okay, here is some introduction classes over the channel. So join the classes properly, and in a description box, a full detail of the college Dekho is also given. So if you have any doubt, any queries, please ask your doubt and queries with the respective numbers and mail IDs. And if you are having any doubt in my subject too, you may comment in the comment section. Plus, you may ask that also with our helpline. Okay, so this is the only announcement I have to give you guys. So let's make the graph. I hope those who are properly taking the class, I hope you don't have any doubt. So coming back, let's have a graph, demand graph. That is a demand graph. So coming to the demand graph, here is a y-axis, here is the x-axis, here is a 0. Okay. Always remember, on a y-axis, there is always independent variable, that is price of the And on the x-axis, there is a dependent variable, that is the demand for the good. What do you mean by the independent variable or a dependent variable? Again, I am coming back on my example. My example? That is about the tomatoes. What was the example? That there is a price a little bit changes. My demand is automatically changes. So there is an independent variable would be going to be the price, because when the price is changing, this is the only reason the demand is change. If price is not change, will our demand will respond? No. Chances are less. So our demand is dependent on the price, also on our income, all other determinants. What was the determinants? So we'll going to be discussing another class, or you may explore as per our description instructions given you. So here, price of the goods. Normally, how to make a graph? It's easily known by you guys. The differences between the points should be always equal. For example, if you are taking 1, then all the differences 0 to 1 difference is 1. So what were the other numbers? The difference between all the numbers should be equal to the 1. So here in the price, we are going to understand it's 100 to 250. So what I am going to do will make it 50. 50, 100, 150, 200 and 250. And on the demand, there is a equal 1 to 5. So we'll make like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. So at a price of rupees 250, we'll demand only 1 kg of apple. So here is 250 and we are going to plot 1 kg. Okay. So after 200 or at a 200, will demand 2 kg. So here is a 2 kg. Okay. So at a 170, will demand 3 kg. So here is 170. It would be like this. Okay. At a 120, will demand 4. And at a 100, will demand 5 kg. So the graph would be like this. Graph would be like this. Okay. Graph would be like this. So this graph is downward, slanting. So demand graph is always downward slope. What we study today? We study about the microeconomics. That is the internal operations or internal environment of the organization. After that, we selected one topic of under the microeconomics, that is the introduction to demand. So what do you mean by the demand? Demand means a desire or willingness to buy. Who buy the goods, customer or a consumer? What the customer or consumer thought of process? They want less amount to purchase more, and they want, if the prices charges are hike, is going hike or is are hike, so they demand less amount. So there become an inverse relationship between the price of the goods and the quantity demanded for the goods. So price and the quantity demanded shows the inverse relationship. One is going up, so another will going down. Price will be going down, then demand will going to be up. So the graph would be shown as a downward slope. Clear? So this is the little bit introduction about the demand. And there is so many other points also which contain under this chapter, which will going to be understand you more about the demand and the process of the demand, and to understand and to remind always to take or to understand this thing. You have to correlate this topic with the surroundings of your exam. As we went to the market to purchase any item, let's suppose you purchase some fruits, vegetables, or any of the items. When you went to the market, you always start being a customer. Obviously you are going in a market to purchase some item. So when you are going to purchase some item, that is you are a customer, and when you are a customer, your thought process be like only customer. We start bargaining system. And under the bargaining system, what the next step is? The next step is we purchase less when the price is high. And when the price is down, we demanded more. So it's make the desire, and when the desire is perfect, we are ready to pay amount to the seller and take the item from them. Okay, so this is the only introduction class, and I hope I make clarity about the demand. So this is the way we teach in a class. This is the way we take the example. In a particular in my class, I definitely take the examples of your surroundings of your daily life. Because from the examples of our daily life and all our surroundings, it's quite easy for us to understand the concept. Yes, quite a surprising point, but yes, this is the only way. Taking the proper graphical example of the bookish language or any other thing, that makes a concept very difficult to understand. Taking the examples of a practical life make the concept clarity, and the concept clarity is a very important point. So I hope those who watch this video are going to prepare for their exam in terms of a demand. I hope this lecture would definitely help you to understand what is demand. Demand is nothing, only is a desire. Purchase and demand is other things. Demand yani that means our wants, what we want, what we are willing to buy. And purchase is when we are ready to buy. Willing and ready are the main difference between under the demand and a purchase. Understand this thing? So when we are ready to purchase, that means we are ready to pay. That is not demand. But before going to purchase some item, when we desire something, yes, that thing I should have, I must have. That is the only thing what we demand. And demand here is always inverse in relationship. That is, when the price decreases, quantity demanded is increases, and when the price is increases, quantity demanded is decreases. Okay, one more question. Mostly student will ask in this topic, ma'am, is there any chances when the price is high and demand is also high? Yes, if that is occur, if that thing occur, that time our graph would not be like downward. That will become the upward. Okay, so for other more detailed conceptual clarity, don't forget to fill our form which is given in the description box to explore more. Okay, so don't forget, and Feel free to ask any queries and doubt. And after the session is over, you will definitely see this video again and again on our channel. Okay, ji. So this is all for today. We'll definitely meet you tomorrow with a new interesting topic. And I hope you like this. And if you like this, don't forget to subscribe the channel or share too. And like is very important. Okay. So, okay, ji.